Back to our test class. I'm keeping our list of goals for this test class on the top right of the screen. Time to execute. This isn't going to be that difficult. First thing I'm going to do is rename our test method to generally describe our goal. I'll rename it to create op with competitors. Inside this method is where we need our logic. Step 1. Create or update an opportunity. I'm going to go with creating an opportunity since for every test method there is no pre-existing data. There's no opportunity for me to update. Sure, I can create an opportunity and then update it, but that's just redundant since creation is sufficient. I use the syntax for creating a new record, then make sure to populate all required fields for opportunities. I like to do this first and get it out of the way so I don't need to remember to do this later. The name field is a string, so that's easy to populate. The close date field is a date, and the easiest way to generate a date data type is to use the date.today global method. Stage name is the last required field, and it's a pick list, which is updated using the same syntax as strings. Next goal is to populate all 3 competitor price fields. These are currency fields, so we populate them using decimals. I'm typing in integers, which is also an acceptable input, because this is one of those cases where Apex will automatically handle the conversion. We don't need to explicitly set the currency to, since it's defaulted to whatever set for my user, probably USD. And the final goal is to populate all 3 competitor fields. These are picklist fields, so we populate them using strings. The values we use don't have to be one of the predefined values of the pick list. We can use anything. All that remains now is to save this record using DML. We're in a test class, so we need to explicitly use DML to save whatever changes we're making to records. That's all there is to our test class. It can be shockingly easy once you get the hang of it. Before we move on, I like to add the finishing touches to my code. First, I make sure to align my equal signs. Then, I'm adding in a system debug message for good measure. You never know when it might come in handy. If you're wondering, this general amount of code comments is pretty normal. Most people don't write enough comments, so whenever in doubt, play it safe and write those extra comments in. Before running our test class, I'll save it to make sure there are no errors. Let's see how we did on our code coverage. If we did our analysis right, we should hit 100% coverage for the leading competitor trigger. I open up the testing UI by going to Maven's Mate, Unit Testing, Open Apex Test Runner UI. Make sure the leading competitor test class is selected before starting the test run. When the test is finished running, you'll get a screen that looks something like this. Ignore that message up top that says you don't have enough coverage. That's calculating the coverage across all our code. We're only looking for coverage on the leading competitor trigger. To find that, click the test results dropdown, go to trigger coverage, and scroll to the leading competitor trigger. There's that 100% number we were looking for. I tell ya, even after writing hundreds of test classes, it never gets old seeing perfect code coverage.